Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any
All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Saturday Night Rocket League edition of the Nemesis playoffs here as we are officially back here. It's good to be back for some playoff edition of Saturday Night Rocket League. I'm Rockerman back in the booth, joined by the good old Speed Demon. Speed, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Like you said, it's Saturday night. It's Rocket League. It's playoff season. You know, some of the greatest matches happen on Saturday, and let alone it being playoffs. So it's always fun to cast these Saturday night playoff games.
Oh yeah, it always is. It always is fun to cast these Saturday Night playoff games. Apologize for a little bit of the slow start, and I'd like to give a apology about yesterday's stream technical difficulties. Thank you guys for bearing with us. It wasn't the ideal scenario, but we did get pretty much all the playoff matches streamed, so that was good. And we're hoping to be back on schedule for the final 2 weeks here. So appreciate everyone bearing with us on that front. So thank you guys for that. And a couple quick shout outs before we dive into this one. Shout out to Logan coming back for 11 months, and shout out to Dr. Shadow gifting a tier 1 sub to a Freckly Ginja. So thank you very much for that. And Speed, I am going to bring up this bracket. We're going to talk a little bit about this matchup. We got Melons taking on Origin, an all-time Prospect League showdown for sure. I want to show this bracket, Speed, because what has happened at the Prospect League has been nothing short of chaos.
It really has been chaos. As a prospect resident myself here, Rocker Man getting knocked out, and that play-ins, unfortunately. But I can't complain too much. As you can see right there, we got knocked out by Ember in a sweep. Ember then going and taking down the Minotaurs, and then just took down yesterday the undefeated #1 seeded Gladiators to put themselves into a semifinal matchup with the winner of tonight's game. And then on the other side, like you said, it's been hectic. The 2 seed and the 3 seed gone. So no 1 seed, no 2 seed, no 3 seed heading into this semifinals, and it's looking like Melons have something to fight for.
Yeah, definitely so. They're trying to be the only top 4 seed representative to make it on here. Speed, we're running a little behind, so I'm going to get them joined up here. We'll talk a lot more about these players and these teams as the match goes on. But what are you predicting here? Who do you think is going to take this matchup, and how do you think it's all going to turn out?
That's a super tough question, Rockerman, but I think I'm going to have to rock with your Origin boys. Since that late transition, acquisition of acquiring Cream from Flurry, you boys have won 6 in a row, and all of them being sweeps, so it's kind of hard to bet against them right now.
Yeah, no, they have been on a tear. Getting Cream, picking them up has been a great addition to this roster, and like you mentioned, they have not yet lost, and they're looking to keep that going. And like you mentioned, they have not only have they not lost a series in their last 6, they have not lost a singular game, which is very impressive. And it's going to be something to watch out for. And this one is, we're going to get things underway. And like we mentioned, we'll talk a lot more about these teams as we go on. But we got the Melons in the alternate red tonight with Critter, Crotera, and Tragic Upset. And then Origin with Air Sweeney, Cream, and Hunzer, who's going to fire one on net here. And Speed, what can you tell us about? Let's start things off with the Melons. What can you tell us about the Melons so far in this season 11?
As the Melons are gonna let up a little bit of a accidental mistake goal there, as 2 defenders going up for that. Can't quite make the save as Crow and Tragic kind of pinch it together, and that one's going to go in and give your boys an early 1-0 lead. But yeah, other than that, the Mountains, they've looked really solid all season long. They had a little bit of a lull after they traded Awful away, just trying to figure out new rotations with a new third. But it looks like, they're still hanging on. They're still playing well. They got Critter, Crow, very, very aggressive bump demo style as a demo comes out there by Critter. And then Tragic's just a good all-around, player. Really focuses, I believe, on the defensive end of things, which kind of, reels them back in with how aggressive Crow and Critter can be.
Yeah, and Critter, one of those guys that is not afraid to demo. And speaking of demo, there comes one right there leading to a goal. Hunzer gonna put it in.
Beautiful, beautiful counter right there by Hunzer. Tragic overcommitted a little bit, not a lot of boost, but Hunzer able to pick up that demo and then turn on a dime. No one back for Melons, and they're gonna grab that, second goal here early on, as it's only been a minute and a half into this game. And I expect Melons to be able to bounce back, especially with their play style. Their play style can be very, hectic and chaotic, especially for other teams' defenses. So they're definitely not out of this, even though, they haven't had too many opportunities early on in this game, number one.
Yeah, no, like you mentioned, this Melons team is very solid. There's a reason they got to this point to grab that fourth seed in the regular season. They're the winners of the Atlantic Division in season 11, so they got an automatic playoff bid by that. By winning their division there, which is always impressive. Always good to get that division win, guarantee yourself a playoff spot, and they've definitely had a great season, but it doesn't quite mean a thing without a ring here, which is what both these two teams are trying to accomplish. And like I mentioned, one of the most historic matchups in Nemesis history here between these two teams. Melons and Origin have been going at it since all the way back in season number 1. It has been a crazy ride. These guys have combined for 5 of the 10 Prospect League championships, and 7 of the 10 Prospect League Grand Finals have included these two teams since a shot is going to ring on net. So this is about as historic as it gets, maybe in all of Nemesis speed with these two teams, which is always an exciting thing to look at in all-time history.
Yeah, and I know both of these teams have had really great success, but that stat line right there that you said, out of the 10 championships, 7 of them have included one of these two teams, and that they've won 5 championships combined, which is just it's unbelievable, honestly, that these two are still all these years finding a ways to build teams. You included, being the GM here of Origin, and just continuing to build the teams. And it doesn't surprise me, knowing who the GMs of this Fruit Ninjas org has been previously. Squirrel, longtime manager, now a part of your team, and has really did well with that. JD being over there, and now Dr. Shadow's following right in their footsteps and continuing to make this Melons team consistently a powerhouse.
Yeah, definitely so. They have been a powerhouse for a long time, and continuing to do so here as we're into game number 1. Reminder, these are all best of 7s, and these are the last round 1 matchups here. Scream is going to block that one off. Last round 1 matchups here. After this, we'll have all the semifinalists here who will go on to next week to try to fight for a spot in the grand finals. Right now, Origin up 2-0 here in game 1. The Melons haven't quite been able to find the back of the net, but they've had a couple of opportunities for sure here in game 1. But some great Origin defense has kind of spelled a little bit of defeat in that regard. But this one getting blocked up. Tragic upset, trying to drop it down. Hunzer can try to get to that one, can't quite get the touch. Sweetie can't get that touch either. Gonna leave it all on Cream. Gonna find the touch to the corner though, as we're in the final 30 seconds. This one, when he push across, Hunzer gonna take it. A little bit of a dangerous pass across, but Hunzer able to get it out. And with 20 seconds remaining, Origin looking to take this game number 1 here. Is Cream gonna pop it up high in the middle. Big miss comes through, and here comes Sweeney to put it in. And it's 3-0 Origin in game 1.
3-0 Origin, kind of what I expected them to do, to come out early on, not having lost a game in their last 6 series, as we stated. But what's really surprising me is that, the Melons aren't looking, to the degree of how the Melons have played and can play. Tragic, has kind of made a couple mistakes. He's been awkward in his positioning with his boost, and then I'm just really not seeing as much that I would like to see out of Critters, the one that usually propels his team, carries his team. He's also like kind of quote unquote their mental coach. So I definitely expect, a nice little speech to come out here from Critter, to really get this Melons team going here for game number two.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely need it here as shutout in game number one. Origin putting up a 3 spot on them there in this first game, but I mean, all things considered, looking at the stat line speed, besides the goal result, the stats were pretty even. So Melons, they definitely had their chances, but the Origin defense with those 5 saves just shut them down in game two, and game one, and now as we look to game number two, speed. How are you going to break through if you're Critter, you're the mental coach there, trying to encourage his Melon team? How do you break through in game two against Origin?
I think it starts off with, reminding everyone to breathe, right? It's just a game. At the end of the day, you're playing a game online with friends. We're not talking any crazy money on the line from the prize pool. So it's really, just at the end of the day, bragging rights. As a dangerous shot comes out by Sweeney, unable to go in and no one able to follow that. But that's a good break for them right there. Survive that first attack, and now they just need to breathe and get down to what they do best, and that's just play very aggressive, bump demo heavy style, and really try to get into the heads of Origin and make them lose confidence and get a little angry, as a lot of people don't like to be bumped and demoed.
Yeah, that is true here. Is this one going to be shot towards the head? But Sweetie just going to get up there in time. Another one pass across. Crow is going to send it in, and Origin is finally going to be scored on here. Crotera going to send it in, giving the Melons the lead in game two.
And then that's what you want to see right there. Set up by Critter. Instead of trying to go for that awkward shot, passes it over to Crow. Really getting things going. They took their time. Yes, they hit crossbar, but they didn't let that bother them. They hit crossbar 3 times in that play there, but they kept pressure, they kept their heads on, they kept on to the ball and kept that play alive, and was able to find themselves a goal and now take that lead, find their first goal of this series. And now I can really expect them to start opening the floodgates, as it looks like they've calmed down a little bit, as Tragic is coming out and getting a lot of demos, not something that you normally see him do.
Yeah, normally you think of the demo, you think of Critter, the Prospect League demo leader there, and he'll definitely demo a few people, that's for sure. But Tragic also getting involved there in this play style, as this one off the backboard, Hunter trying to turn around, but Critter, great defense to get out to that one. It's sent back in. Critter has an opportunity to throw it off the wall. Protera going to keep this one up as Cream. Going to find that block, the ball dropping down, a miss comes through. Sweeney almost gets bumped there. Critter trying to come through, going to find a touch. As Hunter going to send it off to the side here. It's a backboard. Cream going to bang it out, looking for Hunter. Great little passing play. This one going to go off the backboard. Awkward ball. Still going to be popped up. Still going to be floating dangerously, but a great save comes through. Critter able to get back to it. And Sweeney and Hunter both trying to keep it in here, but not for long. It's Tragic. Going to send it back. This one going to be pushed back out. It's Critter going to find a big bang. Sweeney sending off to the side. Hunter off the backboard, trying to find another touch there. Sweeney can't quite put it in here, but the Melons able to hold on here. Speed is we're about 2 minutes into this one. They're still holding on to their 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and great by them. Survived an early attack, able to survive a couple missed shots, hitting crossbar for them. And now it's time for Origin to really step it up. And for Origin to step it up, I think you got to really rely on Hunter, at a drop-down Chally player from last season, and one of your reigning MVPs in the Prospect League, and Sweeney, who has always performed very well in Prospect, winning MVP, I believe it was 2 seasons ago, and then really close on winning MVP last year with the season that he had. So I think definitely got to think it's got to fall on their 2 shoulders, with Cream just being an all-around great third man that has fit in so well with him since that acquisition.
Yeah, definitely so. And see if they can bring it back here. Is Sweeney going to try to fire this one towards the net? It's out the backboard. Hunter trying to find a touch, but that one can be cleared away by Tragic. Is Cream going to send it back in, looking for a 50. Critter. Smart idea to take that 50 on the wall. This one dropping down, be punched out just by Hunter, though. That one, fortunately, not going to be on net. This one popped up, trying to find another touch. Hunter into the corner. This ball going to pop over the top of one Hunter. Bending it down, but Crow, he's on top of that one. Going to push it back in the midfield to Sweeney. Looks to send it back in. This one, pop it up high. Sweeney, he's waiting for it. Gonna find a touchdown. Looking for the shot there. Cream trying to find it, but Tragic gets in the way just enough, altering that shot there, as that was an opportunity, but not gonna go that time. As Critter gonna send it back in for the Melons, trying to add to their lead. This one dropping down, could be dangerous. Gonna be pushed off the crossbar. forcing 2 Origin defenders to commit here as Critter popping up for this one, trying to stay with it, looking for the double tap. He's going to drop it down. It's floating in front of the net. No one on Origin has boost. They're going to triple commit, but they're going to be able to save this one away here as the Melons pressure is going, and it's going to put it in. Critter sends it home, and the Melons have a 2-goal lead.
First of all, what a great, I know he didn't score it, but what a great shot by Critter. Getting that soft touch down right in front of the 3 Origin defenders. Unfortunate that that wasn't able to find its way in, but, you know, again, them taking a deep breath this game, I think, you know, being really smart. I can guarantee you Critter had something to say along those lines. Like I said, he was going to have to. And, you know, they're finding a way, breathing. Even when things aren't going their way, they're remaining calm. They're not over panicking or anything, and they're just playing simple Rocket League right now, which is obviously proving to be, you know, what they needed to do early in this series. And it looks like they're on their way to potentially tying this series up at 1.
Yeah, they might be able to do it here and hand Origin their first loss in almost 2 months, I believe. So this would be definitely an impressive feat if they can get this one, and it looks like they might here. As it's in the corner. Origin, though, not looking to give that streak up lightly. This one into the corner. Critter popping it up. Going to get it over the top here. But Origin running out of time to make that happen. Sweeney going to get it by 1. Hunzer trying to stay with it. Can't quite find the touch. This one going to drop down. Hunzer taking a shot towards net. But this one we push up into the corner here. Gonna have to score with a second on the clock for a chance here. Sweeney trying to push it through, but not quite going to be enough there as the Melons are going to come through, and finally someone out there has put a game on this Origin team, and the Melons have done it here in the playoffs to tie things up.
Yes, they have. They found a way to beat the unbeaten team in the last 6 games of the season. And, you know, they did it pretty well. Composed. They made, you know, Origin bounce around. There was a lot of passes. Obviously, they picked up a lot more demos in that game, which is definitely how they need to play, because that's their play style. That's their bread and butter. And they just weren't quite able to find that play style in game 1. And Origin, you know, I'm really curious to see how they're going to bounce back, having lost a game with this roster yet. You know, obviously they're really great players. You know, a lot of them have strong heads, but when you haven't lost in 18 Rocket League games, 19 because they won game 1 in the series, and then you go and lose number 20, you know, could have an effect. I don't think it will, but, you know, just, you know, have to see early in game 3 on how they respond to that loss.
Yeah, definitely so. Our eyes will most certainly be on that and see if they have a response here as we're heading to game number 3. To Beckwith Park we go. And yeah, Origin, they may not have lost an actual league play match, but I know they've been scrimming a lot, and they have lost a couple of games in those scrims, just from my knowledge. So hopefully for their sake they won't be too deterred, but we'll have to see if the Melons maybe have found some cracks in the armor of this Origin team, who has been on fire at the end of the season here, which is just where you want to be when it comes down to it. When you're looking to fight for a championship, it's all about who's playing their best Rocket League at the very end of the season. Melons on the attack here early. Hunzer gonna send it down, but it's gonna be punched back in. Critter looking to find a double. Can't find that touch though. Sweeney gonna push this one down. Cream gonna send it down, and the net is just open there. It's gonna find its way in, and Cream gonna answer quickly for Origin.
Yeah, and you know, that's really unfortunate for Dragic. He had plenty of boost. Cream didn't have a lot, but he just wasn't able to beat Cream there. Cream just gets the touch, puts it down towards the net, and that one's able to go in, find the back of the net. As you know, Critter, we saw him going for that double tap attempt. He wasn't able to recover, and it looked like Crow was, you know, looking for a potential pass there in the midfield. So everyone pushed up for the Melons. That's how you get these Melon, you know, guys. You really have to let them force attacks, and you kind of have to play that counter game against these guys.
Yeah, and Origin, we saw them do it in game 1. Couldn't quite do it in that game number 2, though. This ball gonna be awkward. Left up for Crotera. Gonna try to fire a shot, but it's just a little bit wide. But here comes Critter, looking to fire it in. Hunzer gonna find a touch. This ball still floating around. Sweeney has to get up to it. And this is what the Melons did in that game number 2. They made Origin very awkward. They've done it again, and Crotera is gonna send it in again. And we're tied.
Yeah, Cream sitting in that net with 0 boost for about the last 15-20 seconds, and not really able to get out and get boost because his teammates kept having to challenge for balls, wasting their boost. So he couldn't afford to go out, grab boost anywhere else. So he kind of just had to sit there, and you know, with him having no boost, a beautiful pass comes out to the midfield and just able to sneak it by him. We are tied up here, 1-1. Series score tied up 1-1 Rockerman, and just like I expected, this series is definitely gonna probably go to Game 7 in the long haul here, as both these teams are just way too good.
Yeah, no, they've been good this season, and they've been good all time, like we mentioned earlier, with 7 out of the 10 Prospect League Grand Finals, including one of these two teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of them does make their way there. We know one of them will make it to the semis. This one shot towards the net, but just a little bit wide. Quartera gonna get to it. This ball popped up, tragic. Not quite the touch he was looking for. His Critter gonna send it across the ball. Gonna be controlled, sent towards the net, looking for one more. It's gonna be pushed towards the backboard, but a nice touch. Cleared away by the Melons. This one sent out Sweeney. Gonna find a touch ball up in the midfield. Hunzer can't quite get to it. Gonna pop it up into that Melons corner. His Critter. He takes control here. Ball gonna be sent back. Hunzer gonna drop it down, trying to stay with it. Gonna find a push down. Cream not quite able to get up to that one as the Melons gonna get to it, but he's gonna find a demo there, and that's something that these two do well. Also, Speed Demon, I believe, if my memory serves, that Hunzer and Cream are both top 5 in demos for Prospect League, in total demos, alongside Critter, as this one is going to find its way into the net here. Hold that thought. Quartera is going to score.
Yeah, you know, Critter just doing what he can, trying to keep the ball in their offensive half. Gets beautiful 50, bounces right down off the ceiling, which sometimes those are super hard to read, especially when you're not expecting that, 50 to come out. And, Melons read it well, Origin kind of on their back foot and deep in their defensive third. Super hard to defend that.
Yeah, and that one gonna find its way in, and the Melon's gonna take the lead. It's Critter. He's gonna find a double demo. Just gonna open up some space for the attack here. Gonna put Origin a little bit on the back foot as a double commit comes through, but it's still gonna find its way into the orange zone, or the Origin zone. This one pops up. We bang down Critter. Gonna make that touch. The ball floating. Cream gonna pop it up towards the net. Double commit again from the Melons, but Critter is gonna find it down. Gonna find the demo, but he can't quite find the goal. Tragic. He's gonna come through though and put it in, and it's 3-1 Melons.
Yeah, Melons proving to be, with their aggressive play style, just a little too much. Another demo coming out. Beautiful setup there by Critter to Tragic, who has plenty of boost, able to secure that one. And with a minute 50 left, giving Melons that 2-goal lead as you get late in these games, that's definitely important to have, knowing that you have that extra goal in your back pocket in case you do make that accidental mistake and let up a goal.
Yeah, you got the insurance right here to make it happen here, as they're gonna be up 3-1 Origin. You have to try to push to find 2 goals. Quartera, not the touch he was looking for. This one dropping down. Cream off the backboard, a big opportunity, but Tragic able to get back to it. The Melons struggling for boost here. This one, when he pushed down, Cream dropping it down. Sweeney diving in. The ball's popping up. Cream once again firing at Sweeney, trying to get in the way. Tragic gonna get it up. Hunzer gotta try to beat him. Gonna send it just off the post there. The ball floating up. A Critter is gonna deny it away. Here, Sweeney may have had the opportunity, but Critter was there on the defense, able to lock that one down. As a boost steal comes through. Origin may have a chance on the counter. Sweeney trying to drop it in, but that one can be blocked away by Tragic. It's Cream trying to get up to it under a minute remaining here. Melons looking to take the series lead. This one pushed back. Critter finding the 50. Ball goes off the corner. Follow-up attempt just going to go wide there. Another ball is also going to find its way wide, but this one is not going to find its way wide. It is finding its way in with Tragic upset.
Beautiful shot here by Tragic, and that's what happens when you are so aggressive and you force teams to make bad clears. Is they get low on boost, they struggle rotationally because of it, and as you saw there, all the Melons had over 50% boost, and everyone on Origin was below 25% boost. So that pressure right there is what is super hard to break. And that's what they do to you. As another shot comes out by Crow. And if you're Origin here, you definitely got to try to find one for the road. Losing 2 games in a row here with 20 seconds left. And, you got to find a way to be able to get better clears and keep the Melons from owning that pressure in your defensive third. Finding a way to get demos of your own. As Cream does just that. They find the pressure, they get their goal, they hit a little momentum here at the end of game number 3, and that's exactly what we want to see if you're an Origin fan.
Yeah, Cream gonna put that one in, and yeah, I was gonna say Speed. I feel like this has been a battle of Speed. Not trying to make a pun on your name or anything here, but now I feel like both these teams have just been going at the fastest pace they possibly can, and it's just been a battle of almost endurance here to see who can maintain with that speed. And right now, the Melons have been the ones showing that they can handle that pace.
Yeah, they really can. I think, the Melons, in my opinion, in the Prospect League, they are the fastest team, which they do really well at. Now, Origin plays really well at fast pace too, but just not as fast as of a pace as the Melons. And I think that's where I think the Origin roster here needs to realize, right? Like, yes, this is our play style, but the Melons do that better, and they have to find a way to be able to change it up. And how you do that, I think, is you got to play a little slower, a little smoother, and really just focus on, if you have boost, and you let them overcommit, and you got to play that counter game against them. I think that's really the only way that you can really beat the Melons in a long series like this, instead of trying to, beat them at their own game, which is that fast-paced, aggressive play style.
Yeah, definitely so. And so far, the Melons, they have done it well. And it's interesting, not too long ago, these teams did face off. It was quite early into the Origin's recent win streak, but Origin did sweep the Melons late in the season, match number 15 overall. But the Melons showing no signs of that one, maybe remembering that one and trying to get a little revenge here, as they're up 2-1 here in speed. As we mentioned, this is, well, we talked a little bit about it, but Origin needing to come back, and this is a very crucial game for Origin here, as this could turn quickly from a 2-2 series to a 3-1 series, depending on this result. So it is a crucial game for both teams, really.
Yeah, it really is. That 2-1, series scoreline. This game number 4 is really the turning point in the series. Sometimes, like you said, you could either bring it back to tie, and now you're in a best of 3, or you're fighting for your season and you got to win 3 straight games against a team that just beat you 3 times. As Origin came out, won that game number 1. So if Melons get this one, it'll be their 3rd straight win. Which is going to be super hard. But a beautiful shot comes out by Sweeney. Great placement. But, the speed here of the Melons really showing, as Tragic able to get back to that well-placed shot and make that save.
Yeah, Origin looking to start on the attack here as this ball is popped up. A big opportunity. Sweeney going to try to push it in. This one off to the side. Hunter, he is going to get a touch on that one. Looking to find a pass. Going to drop it down. Crotera, not a lot of boost with Sweeney. He can't quite find that one on target. Not a lot of boost himself there. This Critter is going to send it down. Cream going to find the cutoff. Tragic. Off the wall there, Critter. Gonna get it over the top. He's gonna get over the top of 2, and he's gonna send it into the back of the net there. And the Melons take the lead once more.
And that's, super unfortunate. Sweeney trusting in his teammate Hunter, gonna get that, 50 there. Kareem had demoed their 3rd man, so that's where you kind of get in trouble sometimes, when you try to play aggressive and you not that you shouldn't trust your teammates, but when you kind of trust them a little too much sometimes on these, 50-50-ish plays, and it doesn't quite go your way. It was a beautiful attempt. I saw the vision there, just unable to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and Origin gonna have to be careful here. Now they find themselves down once again here in this one. Hunzer looking to find it, gonna pop it up high. Crotera trying to get to it. Here comes Sweeney off the backboard. Follow-up attempt is there. Kareem can't quite put it on. Hunzer trying to turn around, looking to fire it in. This one gonna go just a bit wide. Critter, he's not able to get that touch. Sweeney can take it underneath. This one is going to 50 up high. Kareem just floating for it. Going to find the 50. Sweeney diving once more. This ball into the corner. Hunzer throwing it off the wall. Looking for a teammate. Trying to find someone, but he's going to find Critter instead. As Kareem being patient. Looking to keep that possession going. Kareem in the corner. Can't quite find that touch. Cortera going to find one. This one pushed off the wall. Hunzer. Dangerous ball to go for, but going to find a touch there. This one dropping down. Hunzer looking to stay with it. Gonna pop it by 1. This one out of the midfield, but Origin not quite the boost to finish it. And this one is gonna be put in the back of the net. Critter sends it in, and Origin caught on the counterattack again.
Caught on the counter attack again, just like that. As you could saw, both their 2 defensive players, Sweeney and Cream, low on boost. Both pushed up over the half field, and that's where you get sometimes when, like I said, you try to play that fast-paced game against another fast-paced team. I think your priority here has to be boost management if you're Origin.
Yeah, they have definitely been struggling with the boost, as this one is an open net opportunity, but Cream can't quite put that one on there. And yeah, we've noticed it a couple times here. They just haven't had the boost in that midfield to continue the attack, and then the Melons come right back with a counterattack of their own there. And now they're up 2-0 here in this game number 4. Looking to give themselves a 3-1 series lead here in this one. This ball gonna be popped up into the midfield. Sweeney gonna find a touch, looking to push this one down. Tragic into the corner. It's Critter gonna take this one to the ceiling. Looking to try to stay with this one's got a flip to work with. Gonna push it down. Hunter gonna find that touch. This ball popped up. Gonna be floating. Sweeney gonna find a touch. But this one gonna stay around. Hunter looking to find a 50. This ball into the Melons corner. Origin trying to push it in, looking for a goal here. Not quite gonna find it. This one, they may have found an opportunity on the other end. Hunter trying to get back, but he can't get to it in Critter. He catches him out again, Speed, and once again, the Melons just keep finding ways to counterattack.
They do, and that's a beautiful attack there by Critter. Gets to 50, beats Cream up the wall, plenty of boost, able to control it pretty well. Sees that Hunter is racing back, but just puts it out of his reach. And that's a tough shot in its own when you kind of see that open net and you're just trying to put it on, knowing that a defender might not get there in time. So sometimes those are the hardest shots to get. But Critter, well poised, well seasoned here. Has a couple championships under his belt previously here, and he definitely knows what it takes to win a championship.
And he's trying to lead his team closer that way here. Sweeney has an opportunity, gonna throw that one a little bit high though. It's Cream looking to send it back in. 50. Sweeney can't quite get it down. Hunter trying to jump up for it, gonna keep it off the backboard. The Melons, 2 men committing on that one. Still gonna find a 50 towards the net. Cream trying to get it out, and the time is ticking here if you're Origin to try to come back in this game number 4. This ball popping up, it's gonna go off the backboard. Hunter trying to get out to, but doesn't have a lot of boost. Neither does Sweeney. This one just gonna be sent off to the side. Cortera, not the touch he was looking for. Cream trying to drop it down. It's dropping middle, but a great clear is gonna come through to send that one back away. And with 30 seconds remaining, the Melons looking poised to be 1 win away from the semifinals. This ball popped up. Sweeney trying to look for something here. Hunter gonna send it back in the corner here. Sweeney looking for something, trying to push it towards the middle field. Cream gonna find that angle somehow, gonna put it in, but 11 seconds remaining. Speed might not be enough time.
I don't think it's quite enough time, but again, it's a momentum feeler here. Get a little momentum back, get another goal, put in the net, feel good as a team. You're more than likely going to take your time out here at the end of this game, being down 3-1 in this series. So they have that in their pocket. So try to figure out a way in the last, little bit to figure out a way to slow down this Melons team and then be able to talk about it in this timeout. But then you have to come out and execute it, being down on, the last game that could end your season here, as that one is going to drop down. Melons are going to win 3 consecutive games after losing the first one, go up 3-1 in the series. So it's really all going to come down to, can Origin come up with a solid game plan to slow them down, and then can they execute it?
Yeah, and that is going to be the key here, and surely the timeout will most likely be coming, and we'll have to wait to see, to confirm that. But you have to think it's almost a given here. And Speed, for me, looking at how Origin has been playing here, it's been all counterattacks. I think Critter may have had 3 counterattack goals in that game. He dropped the hat trick there, and Origin, you got to find a way, Speed, and you have to wonder, is that part of their playstyle? Do they have that in their tank here to try to be the counterattack team, or are they going to try to go ultra uber aggressive?
Yeah, I mean, knowing Cream, knowing Sweeney, I don't know Hunter too well. When I was on your org last year, I did sub up for you guys and I played with you guys once. And Hunter's a pretty fast player himself, but I know they like to play fast, and I know that their instincts are going to be, all right, we just have to outpace them. But I don't think that that's something that they're going to be able to do. I think they have to, to win championships. Sometimes you got to go away from your play style because another team has a play style that's so difficult or matches up better against yours, and you have to be the ones willing to change your play style. And I think that's what they're going to have to do if they want to see a change in this series. If they don't do that, I honestly expect the same outcome here in this game number 5, where Melons is going to be able to outpace them. By doing so, they're going to get a lot of counters because Origin's just going to be trying too hard to outpace them. And we're just going to see the same, outcome that we did with the Melons. Yes, they're fast, but they also can play solid defense and get a lot of those counterattacks themselves.
Yeah, definitely so. And we're gonna have to see here what Origin is gonna come up with. They're obviously talking over here on this timeout, down 3-1 after not losing not losing a single game, like we mentioned, in the pretty much the past 2 months here. So it's been a while, and they find themselves in a difficult predicament. But they are going to have to try to overcome this here as the timeout is officially over. So we'll be heading back into things, and we're going to have to see Speed how Origin can do it here, or if the Melons can slam the door against a bitter rival.
Yeah, and it's gonna be exciting. I hope that Origin, as this one is gonna come out, a great save comes out by Sweeney and a clear there by Hunter, and I thought that was gonna be, a little bit of a mental dagger there for your Origin squad, Rockerman, but they handled it pretty well, and now we got to really see how they're gonna come out and what kind of play style they're gonna try to go with. As I already stated, I really think they need to try to play a little slower, a little smarter, play that counter game here, and let, you got to survive the Melons attack and then just counter. And it looks like they're going to do just that. They started out with the goal, with the early lead here in their elimination game. Now they just got to find a way to hold on to it.
Yeah, definitely so, and that's the one thing Speed, especially in the Prospect League and the lower leagues, is you gotta let your opponents make those mistakes. It's not all, I can just outpace everybody and beat everyone. That can work, and for both these teams, I'm sure it has worked in the season against some teams, but when you're playing the best teams here in the playoffs, you gotta sometimes let them make the mistakes and force them into it here. And Origin may have done it right there. And the Melons trying to find a way to fire back here, but that ball not quite going to go. Tragic upset trying to get to it, but Hunzer able to get in the way. The Melons still, though, on the attack. Hunzer trying to get it out. Kareem going to be able to get to that one after off of the miss there. Able to clear it away for a second. Protera going to find that one. Going to find a 50 there as he's trying to find another touch. This one, we popped high off the backboard. The Melons keeping it high, trying to drop something down here, but Sweeney now, he's going to send it down, and this could be the Origin team turn down the counterattack, but a nice touch. They're going to clear that one away. Throw, blocked out by Hunzer. This one back in, Hunzer getting in the way, harassing there, the ball popping up. Here comes Sweeney trying to fire it in, but Critter going to fall back down on that one. Able to get it down as Hunzer looking to take control. Not quite the touch he was looking for, but that one's still going to pop up to the corner. Hunzer now off the corner. Looking for someone to stay with this one. No one from Origin quite yet going for that one. The ball is dropping down, but going to be touched away. Tragic is up for it. Sweeney going to find a touch, able to clear it off to his corner. Maybe not the perfect intended direction there, but going to get it off regardless. But Critter is coming back. Here comes Sweeney yet again. Find another redirect to get it away. And Protera actually going to beat out his own teammate and could lead to something here for Origin. Sweeney trying to drop it down. But that one going to be sent away, and a couple of scary opportunities, Speed, on Origin's end. The Melons feel like they're close to breaking through here.
Yeah, they definitely feel like they're close to breaking through, but having, really looked at this game, Origin, they had that goal lead. They're not necessarily parking the bus, but when they're getting in those scary situations, they're parking the bus. They got everyone in net. They're in smart situations. Everyone's not overcommitting, but this one's just going to float in, and you really hate to see that one. Critter's just going to be able to, get a little dribble, pop it early. Sweeney was getting ready to kind of looks like to fake challenge, and he was caught just at the wrong time and unable to get back to that one.
Yeah, and that's Critter doing what he's done best in this series, which is score those goals. He's going to find another one there, capitalizing on the mistake. As now this one all tied back up, and the Melons looking to put the dagger into Origin here. They can find one more here, then close out this series in 5. This one sent towards the backboard. Dangerous ball. It's dropped back down. Kareem gonna try to give a turn on a Cortero with a good 50. This one sent up, sent high. Just Hunzer here. Tragic. Looking to fire at Critter. Thought about the demo. Gonna look for the redirect instead. It's Kareem gonna take that one. Gonna flick that one. It's gonna be sent down. Sweeney on the touch out in the midfield. Hunzer looking to find one. He's gonna do so, but Critter gonna find a couple touches as Crow pops it up. Critter sending it in. Sweeney gonna get it around him. Demo they're gonna come through, putting Origin back in their zone. A little bit longer. Sweeney looking to take that one. It's off the wall there. Hunter gonna fire this one high up off the backboard. Opportunity, big miss. Here comes Cream looking for the shot, but just gonna be a little bit wide. Not quite gonna find its way through as a demo. Gonna find its way through from Kareem as this one popping up. Hunter just gotta get to it, but a good speed from Cortera. Able to get to that one. It's 1-on-1, 0 boost versus 0 boost. That one is gonna fly its way through, and a little bit of chaos here. Speed in this game number 5. Both these teams understanding what a win would mean for them.
Yes, they do. As a counterattack looking to come out here from the Melons, stopped there by Hunter. As we're starting to see both of these teams really understand what's on the line here, as there's 50 seconds left. But I'm still really liking what I'm seeing from Origin. Yes, they're now starting to pick up the pace a little bit, but they're still playing a little reserved, as a beautiful pass comes out from Hunter to Cream, and they're going to retake the lead. And now I really expect them here to park the bus the final 42 seconds and build off of this smart gameplay that they have built here after that timeout.
And I do have to say that smart gameplay and those passing plays are what we saw in that game one, and it's what's made them such a dominant team here so far in these last couple matches. But a big mistake is going to come through. The aggressive kickoff is not going to work out, and the Melon's going to answer right back.
Yeah, and that's just a panic right there by Cream, realizing that Critter was going to get a touch, but he has to realize that Critter doesn't have a lot of boost and that he's got to protect his net, and that if he misses like he did, then both his teammates have already committed downfield, and they're just going to let up that goal. So we're back squared even. This game looks like it might be heading to overtime unless Cream can get a beautiful double tap here, but no, that's going to get sent away by Crow as we hit that 30-second mark remaining.
30 seconds in regulation. The Melons looking to find the dagger here to end Origin season. Origin going to survive yet another game, send this to a Forbidden Temple where anything can happen and will happen. As Cream gonna pop this one up. Origin, not a lot of boost. Critter, he's gonna get a touch, but not quite the one he was looking for. This one, when he popped up, it's going the wrong way for the Melons here. Trying to find a touch here. This one gonna be sent down. Cream gonna ground it. And OT speed here in game 5. The Melons, if they find this next goal, they'll be moving on to the semis.
Yeah, OT, and if you're Melons, you got to survive this kickoff, as the Melons kickoff has been dangerous, and there they go again, using their speed on the kickoffs, and they're able to get this one to go in, and they are going to take this series, and they're going to be the only top 4 seed in the Prospect League to make it to the semifinals.
Yeah, and Melons, an impressive performance here, able to take down Origin, and they do it in 5 speed. What a showing from them, led by Critter, who really just kind of tore through this Origin team, finding counterattack after counterattack, and they're going to be the ones moving on.
Yes, he did. Critter had a slow, rough game 1. Was on the bottom of his team on the leaderboard, and then I'm pretty sure out of the 4 games that they just won, he was on the top for I believe at least 3 of them. Could have been all 4, but that's the man that I said that really had to step up. He's got the most playoff experience on that Melons roster. He's been in Prospect for a while. He's spent time in Chally as well, so he definitely has what it takes, and he knows the game of Rocket League. And then he also was, he's their mental coach. He's one of the most humble guys in the league. He's always, praising and communicating with his team. And I think that really showed there after game 1 too. They took that loss. He wasn't playing his best. And then he's like, you know what? This is what we got to do as a team. I'm sorry. I'm going to step it up for you guys. And he really did just that.
Yeah, he definitely did, and great performance by this Melons team to take down Origin, who had been so hot coming into this one, and an impressive performance indeed. And for the reward, they get one of possibly the other hottest teams in the Prospect League, that Ember team, who, I mean, they're on fire. They are on fire speed, taking down the Gladiators, the undefeated Gladiators, in a sweep. So who knows? I'm gonna bring this bracket up one more time in speed, because it just looks like chaos here. We're gonna have 4 versus 8 and 6 versus 7 in the Prospect League. So the semifinals are sure to be crazy.
Yeah, that semifinals is definitely going to be crazy. And if you're, the Melons, like you just said, yeah, Ember may be the 8th seed, but they've looked really good here in the playoffs. And the best part about that is they weren't feeling good heading into the playoffs. They had dropped quite a few spots in the seedings. They struggled towards the end of the season, weren't quite able to battle at wins, coming in a couple game 5 losses. But again, they turned it on when it mattered most. Playoffs came. They're digging deep. They're using everything that they have left in their tank. And what do you expect when you got Brindy and Izzachad, 2 great best friends that have always tried to team up together? And they didn't even get to do that this start of season, but they find the way on a team, and now they find themselves climbing right through this playoff bracket.
Yeah, definitely so. And it's the Prospect League has been chaos all season, and we're gonna have another crazy end. We'll have to see if the Melons, with this impressive performance, can make it 8 out of 11 for Melons and Origin making it to the finals, and see if the Melons can add another chip to their resume. So we'll be definitely tuning in next week for those semifinals to see how that thing shakes out. But we've got one more match here left in the first round. It is coming to the Titan League, the always exciting Titan League. I can't wait for this one. It is Godfathers taking on Nebula. Godfathers looking to bring that elusive chip here. The Sloth Syndicate, still the only org that's looking for a championship here. They're trying to do it here. Can the Godfathers make it happen? We're going to have to see here. But we're going to take a quick break. One more quick shout out to Dr. Shadow, gifted another sub out to the community. Much love to Mr. Shadow. And yeah, with that being said, we're going to head to a short break. And when we come back, we got Titan League action. Godfathers, Nebula, you don't want to miss it.
I heard he got you a penthouse on the west side. When will he learn that you're afraid of heights? And heard he got you a new Benz with the white wheels. When will he learn that you like to tandem bike? And I hate that I could love you with my eyes closed, kiss you with a blindfold, figure you out. I might hold you with my hands tight, show you how the right kind of figure you out. No, 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 no. I heard he got you some new friends with some big dreams. When will he learn that you already got your own? Oh, I heard he got you the front row at the rap show. When will he learn that you like the Rolling Stones? And I've been thinking of all the little things that you've been missing. When will you love? I could love you with my eyes closed, kiss you in a blindfold, figure you out. I might hold you with my hands tight, show you how the right kind of figure you out. No, 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 no. I could treat you so much better. I've known you forever, figured you out. I could love you with my eyes closed, kiss you in a blindfold, figure you out. I might hold you with my hands tight, show you how the right kind of figure you out. No, 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 no.
right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back for our final matchup of the first round. We're heading to the top of the top here as we have Godfathers taking on Nebula in the Titan League. I'm Rockerman, joined in the booth by Ventus. Ventus, how you feeling today?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. I mean, I had a tough loss yesterday and got knocked out of the playoffs, but I mean, overall, I'm super excited to cast this game. I know all of the players on these two teams. I've teamed with them before. All of them actually played with them before, and know just how good all these players are. So I'm super excited to be able to actually cast their game. Especially since I do know them all. In case I hadn't said that already.
Yeah.
But it should be a great series. Both these teams are definitely juggernauts, and I'm excited to see some high mechanical gameplay here.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a spicy one for sure here. And Ventus, I'm gonna quickly bring up the bracket to take a look at here, so we can all see kind of what's at stake here. We've had one of our semifinal matches take place. Well, take place in quotes. Unfortunately, it was a forfeit. But yeah, Ventus, we got the Titan League bracket. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at Inferno versus Venganza, and I know Venganza got a little forfeit win over the Spartans. I heard Mercy wasn't able to make it, and that matchup would have been really tough, and that would have been a really close game. But yeah, obviously Venganza moving on to take on Inferno, and Inferno obviously the favorites, the number one seed. But I mean, really in Titan, I can't look at records too much because so many of the losses in Titan were due to sub ups, inactivity. A lot of these Titan players don't necessarily care about the regular season, but postseason is really when it comes down to, and all the players show up. Except for Mercy, obviously, being on the Spartans, but
Wow.
that should be a great matchup. I'm not sure whether that'll be on Monday or Wednesday yet, but I mean, obviously, now Godfathers versus Nebula going to play the winner of them playing Pinnacle, and so that one's also going to be a very good matchup.
Yeah, it is going to be a very good matchup, and well, we're going to get things underway here, and we're going to get things under the way very quick here as Nebula and Denzi, well, only 5 seconds into Ventus.
Yeah, I mean, just a kickoff goal. Zin gets an extra dunk there on the cheat, and Denzi just able to put away a free shot, free goal, and I really want to talk about this Denzi and Zin duo. I mean, I teamed with them for a season in Titan League, and their chemistry is off the charts. They play together all the time. They really know what each other are doing and how each other play, and so I'm really looking forward to being able to see that here today, especially with North being able in the third man is a super solid player as well. So I'm definitely looking out for those two in general, but we'll see with obviously Godfathers is a super good team as well, and Logan and Zen both known for their fast mechanical play. So we'll see who's really able to take it out, whether it's going to be the duo or the solo plays.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting, and I have seen pretty much, I've seen most of these players here, and I actually have seen that duo, Zinvez and Denzi, on Pinnacle at one point, which is my own org, so I've seen them, well, I've seen them separately, not together. So they've been there on separate occasions, so not together. So I am curious to see what this duo can do here. Obviously, both these teams had a great season thus far, and they're going to make it to the playoffs here. Both coming in at 7-7 here, and that one is going to be sent all the way in. And that's just the man we were talking about, Mr. Zinvez, going to bang it into the net, and a 2-goal lead for Nebula here to kick things off here in this game number 1. They are not messing around, that is for sure. And like I mentioned, Zinvez, he is a very solid player, and Nebula not to be fooled around with here in this game, as they're going to put it in the back of the net, and a 2-0 lead for them. It's a great start on their end, as we're going to keep things rolling here in game number 1. The Godfathers gotta look to find a bounce back. We didn't really talk too much about the rosters. They were too busy scoring for us to introduce them. But the Godfathers in the tan here tonight, with Zen, Logan, and Zenix. And then we talked a little bit Nebula with North, Denzi, and Zinvez. And Ventus, what can you tell us? We didn't really talk too much about the Godfathers there, but what can you tell us about the players on that other end there?
Yeah, I mean, Logan, super fast, very mechanical player, but I mean, one of the players that I'm really most interested to see is Zen. I mean, he's known to be a little hot-headed at times, and that might become a factor in this series, especially if the other team starts demo chasing, or as we see a demo chase come out by Logan in an attempt to open the scoring. But I mean, Zen, super high level of mechanics and really fast paced as well. And so Zenit's gonna play that solid third man role, but he's no stranger to shooting the ball on target either. Is a nice shot there and another shot from Logan which comes out. But I mean, these players are all super solid and I mean very mechanical. I mean, the amount of double resets and I've seen Zen do more sidewalls than I can count. So I mean, being able to watch them, really look out for their mechanics.
Yeah, I agree, and it's been honestly a joy to see the Titan League this season with how great of an MMR increase we made here. Titan League going up to 1785 MMR. So these players have definitely been up in the stakes here. We've got a lot of great players getting that top MMR up to 2075 for that upper cap boundary, and North is one of those ones on that side, and he'll definitely be one to watch out for. And like you mentioned, a lot of mechanics all the way around the Titan League. It's what we love to see. Best of the best here in Nemesis, as right now Nebula proving to be that better team in the moment. This ball blocked up. Logan looking to give chase. Who's going to take the dribble, going to take it slow, and he's going to take it in to the back of the net.
And I mean, a great play there. Just a little bit of a solo play, a little bit of mind games there against Zen, and able to keep it away from North as North not able to dive back fast enough to get a touch. And just a great solo play by Logan. And that's kind of what I talked about a little bit earlier with these solo plays coming out from Logan and Zen. And obviously Zenit's no stranger to being able to pull off some crazy plays, but he's much more of that third man. Let Zen and let Logan kind of do their thing and play off of those two. So I mean, it's really going to come down to what plays Logan and Zen can make, and it was a great play there for Logan.
And Zen last season on the Bananas in that Titan League championship, and so he's definitely got some experience here in the Nemesis postseason. So again, we're gonna look to him a lot as well to try to make those plays. And right now, Nebula getting onto this game 1 lead here. Looking to add to it. North gonna pop it up, pushing towards the middle. Double commit comes through from the Godfathers, but Logan gonna get back to it, gonna find that double. Zenix sending it down. Godfathers looking to find one here. The remaining time left. This one off the corner. Big bump comes out. This ball again off the corner with Tenzi. A great touch. Able to get back to it. This one sent down. Zenix looking for the redirect. Oh my goodness, he hits it off the crossbar. Is there a follow? Tenzi trying to get up. And Logan, he can't quite put it down, but that was a huge opportunity. A big fake from Denzi, and that ball getting pushed all the way down, and Nebula are going to hold on.
Yeah, and hold on is definitely the word I would use to describe that ending of that game. I mean, so many close chances there for Godfathers, and Zenix with a great shot, just slightly too high, bouncing right off the crossbar. And if Zenix scores that shot there, or if it just goes bar in, as a little bit more lucky, and this game could have been completely different. I mean, Nebula opened up the scoring, going up 2-0, but I think one of those was a kickoff goal. And I mean, the other one came very early, so Godfather's maybe not settled into their gameplay yet. But I mean, other than that, Godfather's looked very solid and very cohesive together, which is really good. And I think this will shape up to be a very long series.
Yeah, hopefully for the content, we'd love that there. And Godfathers, they were definitely bringing the shots. They're leading 9-7. Also grabbing 5 demos on the way through in that game number 1, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough. Nebula able to make it happen there, able to take that 1-0 series lead here. Love to see if they can continue on. But just not to look too much into titles, like in-game titles as the game goes on. But you spoke about chemistry on one side here. Obviously, want to see how the Godfathers can do chemistry-wise. But I was looking at this Nebula squad, and they got 3 RLCS Challenger titles here from this past season. So I think these guys might have a little experience playing some real high-level Rocket League together.
Yeah, definitely. But I also know that Logan and Zen also have the RLCS 2024
Oh.
challengers. I believe Xenix might as well, but
Okay.
they just chose to not rock them. Overall, I mean, super high level. I believe Logan made top 64 in RLCS last season. So obviously very high skill ceiling for the Godfathers, and I know Denzi and Zin. I believe placed top 96 or maybe 64 as well, and a different qual. And so, I mean, obviously, super high level gameplay from all around from this group. So, I mean, should be really interesting, but it should be a lot closer than might lead on with the 2024 challenger roles.
Yeah. No, that's why, like I said, I don't look too much into roles, but you see it and you're like, wow, that's pretty interesting there. And this one looks to be almost a great pass down, but not quite gonna find its way through as Logan. He's trying to get that one down and in. But yeah, we didn't even really touch on that Nebula early goal. They've done it once again with those early goals, and Godfather's just trying to find a way to answer back here. And Nebula with that quick early speed, gonna give him that one. Is this one popping down but north? A good touch. This one gonna be sent down out in the corner here. Jump up from Denzi, trying to find that touch, looking to drop it down. Logan ends it out there. This one gonna float around in the midfield. Zen gonna have to get a touch here. Maybe they'll find this one off the corner. Xenix gonna take control, gonna flick it by one. Gonna stay with this. This one towards the ceiling. Xenix trying to get out to it, looking to drop it down, finding a way there, but the demo came through. Zen getting erased off the pitch there, and not able to find their way through. So we're seeing some demos here, Ventus. We saw a couple in that game number 1, but a lot of consequential demos here to start off game 2.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We saw the demo there for Nebula on Zen, really opening up that midfield and taking away all that pressure that Xenix was able to achieve by beating 2 players there and going for the ceiling shot, just trying to pass it to somebody. But with that demo and the demo there as well, trying to just disrupt this Godfather's team. And, I want to touch on it also being multiple on Zen. And so, maybe Zen with his hot-headedness, people know him as a hothead. So maybe he'll start to get upset and maybe play worse from these Nebula demos.
Yeah, and that's something you don't really think too much about. We talk a lot about play styles and how people play, but there's a big mental side to Rocket League for sure. And if you got the scouting report, you gotta sometimes you just gotta try to use it to your advantage. You take whatever advantage you can get when you're at the top of your game here, trying to win a championship for your team, for your org. And right now, Nebula in poised position to make it to the semifinals. Winner of this match can be taking on Pinnacle at 2 seed. As this one back in the corner, Denzi gonna get it by 1, trying to get it by 2nd, but this ball dropping right down middle, and Zen is gonna come through and he's firing it in.
Yeah, Zen just doing it all by himself on this one. I mean, Logan got a little bit of a force there to put it right in the way of Zen, but a great 50 there by Zen, and just able to stay in that play with another solo play. And something is that I wanted to touch on is like a lot of these Godfathers plays are going to be that solo play, and so I wonder if Nebula is going to be able to start shutting them down. As I haven't seen Godfathers really do many like passing plays yet, but I've seen Nebula with plenty of chemistry showing out. I know they had a couple of team pinches in this series so far, but I wonder if that will divulge or if it'll start falling apart if Godfathers start going up in the series.
Yeah, no, that could be true, and goes back to mention. I think we're assuming that these 3 were teaming in those RLCS quals, so they've got the chemistry. Whereas some of the other players on Godfathers weren't on the same team in those quals. So that just goes to experience. To make it that far in the quals, you got to have experience. And this one is gonna be a poor experience for Nebula, and it's gonna find the back of their net. Zen strikes for a 2nd.
Yeah, it's just so unfortunate if you're Zen. I mean, it's a little bit of a bad challenge because you're just challenging in the corner with no boost, and there's not really many options that will turn into. And so the pinch there really just super unfortunate, going right to Zen, and obviously the 3rd man of Nebula not expecting that touch either to come out, and so not able to react in time. Just a super unfortunate play for Nebula, but I mean, obviously Godfathers will take what they can get as they go up in game 2 since they're already down in the series.
Yeah, they're looking to try to tie this series up, give us some good content here. Yeah, this one popping up down in the midfield. That one can be touched out, but Logan, he's there trying to turn it back in. Nebula looking to pinch that one out, but only so far as Xenix. Xenix gonna send it up high, looking to stay with it, trying to take it under. Looking for the fake in the 50 down low. Great idea, but Nebula gonna be wise to it. Able to get it away as Zinvez pops it up. Was looking for Denzi again, or maybe North. This one drops back down. Last chance for Nebula to try to find something. Hot shot at net. We're seeing the Godfathers use some boost with the ball dropping in the corner, rolling on the ground, still in the corner, and it's going to touch the ground just in time. The Godfathers going to hold on and tie the series up at one apiece.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a good win from the Godfathers. Kind of lucked out as, the second goal, the one that they were able to take the lead on was, just a pinch in the corner gone awry. And so the Godfathers really, not necessarily squeaked out the win as they were looking pretty solid as, they outshot 10-6 there. As we can see, and the demo is pretty consistent between the two teams, as 5 demos to 4, pretty even, but super close game still. And I think that's really what this entire series is going to be, is really close back and forth play. And, once one team really seizes that momentum is really going to be the series difference maker there. And, it might go back and forth. We might see Nebula win game 3 and Godfathers win game 4 again. But once we see a team take 2 games in a row, I think it is really when we're going to see that momentum start to shift.
Yeah, we'll have to see here as we'll be heading into game number 3 between these two teams to see who can come through and squeak out that win. As got our series all tied up here. Stenzi gonna take it to the corner. We'll have to see who can really battle through and find this win. We've seen it many times so far in this playoffs, in this postseason. This game number 3 can often be that turning point in the series, and both these teams at one apiece. Trying to look for that turning point. North dropping it down, looking to fire a shot, but Zen, great defense to get it back up here. Logan in control, dropping it down. A great pass, but a great save comes through North. He's gonna find it. His Godfathers, they tried to push it back in, but not meant to be a fired shot again. North is gonna get back one more time, and oh my goodness, the defense from North. And that is what you expect from the top player on Nebula.
Yeah, I mean, great saves all around. And almost a double tap attempt here off the post. A save by Zen going for his crazy save there by Zen. And we're just talking about North's amazing saves, and Zen obviously able to put up a crazy save there. But I mean, North really that savior here for this Nebula really early, because this 5 shots from Godfathers, 6 now, have really been adding that pressure. And so having that stable rock on defense in North and that defensive prowess is a potential goal. Might be coming here. Xenix just not able to get there in time, but I mean, really solid play around. And I wanted to shout out Zen with that great save there, and an air dribble there. Xenix able to get a follow-up touch and off the post and in. A great shot there. An unfortunate touch, I believe by Denzi. Just not able to make that save. Oh, Zinvez there. Just slightly too slow, not able to make the save on this time.
Yeah, no, they were making some crazy saves, and that highlight play by North was interrupted from the save to the double tap there. They're going to be denied, and someone who's not going to be denied right here is Zen.
Yeah, I mean, just a great play, a good play there by Xenix, just able to get the pass off and the boost steal, and Zen just really able to put it around Denzi, as Denzi was the last back, having to cover a lot of the goal. Maybe not the best of positions, as he was in the middle of the net, but not able to cover all the angles, and obviously Zen's gonna find the hole there in the defense and put one away.
Yeah, and Zen, like you mentioned, another great player there on this Godfather squad. As this Godfathers team, we didn't really get to talk too much about it earlier, Ventus, but this team has made so many roster moves this season. I couldn't even write them all down because there was so many. There was 18 attempted transactions in Season 11 from this Godfathers team, so they were not messing around trying to find what worked for them, and what worked for them has gotten them to this point with this 3-man roster.
Yeah, and I know that Zen and Xenix were both teammates with Brandon on Venganza at one point, but obviously LK, the GM, elected to drop both those players in favor of Rockiers, and not being able to hold all that cap space. Is Zen and Xenix both slightly lower salaries, but obviously still, I believe, mid 1800 salaries, and so having to pick up a 2075 in Rockiers, just not able to keep both of them or even one of them on the roster, with Brandon, who's another 2075, and a potential shot here by Logan. Gonna take that open net. It's just a counterattack and unravels there, and North just not able to get that sidewall. Logan really beats out Denzi trying to cover for the mistake from North, and takes a free goal there. And now the Godfathers are up 3-0, and I was talking about this momentum shift. If Godfathers can really take this game and really solidify the change in momentum, I believe Godfathers could potentially just win out in this series with how well they've looked. I mean, they've put Nebula on the back foot almost the entirety of Game 3, and a lot of Game 2 as a 50 comes out from Xenix, and it's just gonna find the back of the net. I mean, a good 50 there by Xenix, and just a slight misplay by Denzi is trying to cover for Zin there. I mean, it's the right play, but you got to really think about how you're positioning in those situations, and just a little change map ask for the Godfathers. But obviously that hasn't done or acclimated to much, as Godfathers almost able to get a 5th goal there. I mean they've just looked so dominant in this series.
All right, now listen. I was hoping we were gonna let that one slide, Ventus, but apparently Xenix does not care. I forgot to switch the map in between the game, and I was beating myself up about it. I was like, crap, I forgot to change the map there, and then he has to go and call me out there. But we will change the map, all right? I was working on it, so we'll get there. But like you mentioned, the map doesn't seem to be too much of an issue right now for the Godfathers, as they are stomping in this game number 3. And they are up 4-0, looking to give themselves this 2-1 lead, as this one is going to be fired in the net. Zinvez maybe finding one back here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great demo there. And North trying to pre-flip 50 Xenix, but Xenix trying to play into that 50. But since the touch didn't come out from North, it ended up being a pass to Zinvez. Logan with 0 boost, trying to get back from the awkward spawn. And Zen I believe got bumped, as well as another demo comes out by North. Maybe Nebula's trying to change up their game plan, go a lot more demo heavy on this Godfathers team. But I mean, Godfathers have still looked so dominant that one goal there by Nebula isn't gonna change my opinion on how this series is gonna go.
Yeah, no, they were able to get the 1, but they're gonna need to find 3 more in rapid succession in the Titan League. And those goals aren't going to be very easy to come by, especially when you're trying to make a comeback here. Godfathers can look to park the bus, as Speed was saying in the last series. They're trying to drop this one down here. Going to be sent out. Denzi pushing this one back in, but it's going to be cleared away. We're down to the final seconds here of game number 3. And the ball going to go off the corner. Going to be popped up. Nebula looking for one more for the road here, trying to get a little bit of momentum, but this ball going to be pushed out to the side here. Godfathers going to find one more touch, and that is going to do it there for game number 3. So the Godfathers Ventus with a really just dominating, secure performance from them in that one to take the lead.
Yeah, definitely, and they all played very well. I mean, Xenix 2 goals, 1 assist, 2 saves, and Zan a goal, and assist, and 3 saves, and so they're all really doing their part. And it's not like there's been one player that's really had to make that be that difference maker for this Godfathers team. But it seems like North, having to be that rock on defense, having to obviously make the assist for Nebula to score their 1 goal. And so it seems like Denzi and Zin are more heavily relying on North than this Godfathers roster is. They're all pretty in sync and all rearing to go. So I mean, it's gonna be really difficult for Nebula to retake this momentum.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if they're able to do it. Is this one that can be sent in? And this is a very crucial point here, Ventus. Like we saw in that last matchup here, this game right here can be the difference between going down 3-1 in the series for Nebula or having a 2-2 ball game. So it's really pivotal. I think more so for Nebula, but also on the other side, Godfathers could find this 3-1 lead and be massive.
Yeah, it definitely would be massive. And a couple misses come out there from both sides, and a miss from Zen. So we'll see if they're able to recover. But I mean, yeah, obviously, very very pivotal moment for both these teams, and really a very pivotal moment in the entire series. So it'll be really interesting to see whether Godfather is able to start taking some aggression, or if Nebula trying to prove that they aren't just letting Godfathers have all the space and time, and as an onslaught of attacks come out here, but Godfather's doing well to stave those off. And a little low boost here is actually North is going to end up being able to put a goal in. As it looked like a lot of the players on Godfathers were just boost camping, waiting for that boost to spawn.
Yeah, and I think there's a little bit of a double commit there on that one. It looks like Zen also a challenge on that ball in the midfield, and the Godfathers. That is not gonna lock you down on the defensive end there, and prevent Nebula from scoring. Is able to find that one and looking to battle back here. Is oh my goodness, look at this redirect from Zen. He's gonna fire that one in. What a shot by him to tie this one up.
Yeah, and I mean, talk about the tough mechanical play there. What a redirect! I mean, the skim touch there from Zen was super difficult to get, and I mean, we even see a little passing play there. Great touch by Logan. I don't think if Logan didn't touch that ball perfectly, I mean, Zen wouldn't have been able to be able to make that touch. So I mean, a really great pass there by Logan, and an amazing shot by Zen.
Oh, they might have another follow-up here. North is gonna send it in, and once again, the Godfathers caught with no boost.
Yeah, and it might be a little bit over reliant on the large boost pads, as we see Zen and Xenix both going over those large pads with no boost on it, and so maybe just relying a little bit too much on the large pads, maybe needing to play a little bit more of the small pads. But a free jump there off the ceiling from Logan, definitely an interesting play. I mean, obviously this Godfathers team has not lost any confidence, even going down in this game 4.
Yeah, and that's what you love to see from these Titan League teams is, they're not going to lose confidence too often here. I think all of them understand, how competitive the Titan League has been this season. I mean, the last spots came down at the very last second of the season pretty much there. And, well, the very last match, at least, of the season, as Venganza was able to squeak their way in. Dragons unfortunately fell out, but it's a 3-way tie at 7-7 here. And then, I mean, Pinnacle and Spartans, the 2 and 3 seed there, only one match up there at 8-6, and Inferno, the top seed, 9-5. So really, this Titan League was super competitive all season long. As oh my goodness, and we're trying to go for these redirects again on the other side. Look at the double tap. Oh my goodness, this Godfather's team is styling.
Yeah, I mean, a great redirect by Logan there. Not the touch, obviously, that he wanted. And, Zen and Xenix both going up for the play, both wanting to go for that double touch on their own. But obviously, Zen going to be just a little bit faster than Xenix there. And, able to get that and able to put away that double touches. North just zero boost, not able to, obviously, you put a hand up, but Zen just placed it around him. And, I mean, a great shot by Zen there.
Zen, he's been putting a lot of goals in the back of the net tonight there. And another great one from him is he's trying to lead this Godfathers team, hoping to lead them back to the championship here. They were there in Season 8. Unfortunately lost to Phoenix in that one in 6. Couldn't quite close it out, and like I briefly mentioned in the last one, Sloth Syndicate still looking for their first ever championship. The last org looking to find one. So this Godfathers team, a little bit of pressure here on them. I don't know if they think about it too much here, relatively, but there is some pressure here to be that last org that hasn't got it. You really want to break through, especially Ventus as Nemesis has gotten more competitive here. I feel like every season has gotten more and more competitive as we'll have to hold that thought. North is going to put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, a great play there by Denzi. A nice little double reset. Able to get it over one, and North just able to beat the last player out. And Xenix not there yet, as he was just rotating back, just not able to be there in time for that save. But I mean, a great play by Nebula to put them up by one in the middle towards the end of this game. But as I say that, Godfather's able to muscle through a goal there. A great 50 from Xenix, even though he has so low boost. I mean, just able to play it right around North and still able to keep it in front of the net. Obviously, a nice follow there by Logan, able to capitalize on that 50 and a great equalizer there for the Godfathers, and a terrible mistake there for Nebula.
Yeah, and that one was such a high IQ play right there by the Godfathers, using that boost to fake that you were going to go really fast at the ball and then find that low 50 was crazy. As speaking of crazy, how about a in and out save there coming off for the Godfathers, and watch out, Zen is floating on the ceiling. Dempsey wise to that one. They would take it underneath him there, but Nebula trying to look for something north. Gonna pop it up here. Logan gonna be bumped out of the way, but fortunately for them, Zinvez can't quite put it on net there. As this one gonna be pushed by Xenix. Able to send it down, trying to find a teammate. Looking for a bump there, but Denzi in the corner. Zinvez taking it down. Denzi gonna push it up to the wall. Zinvez stole the boost. Looking to fire it down in the midfield, but Zen is there. Final 30 seconds here of this game number 4. Godfathers looking to put themselves up 3-1 here, trying to find it. It's on the backboard. Here comes a shot, but it's gonna be saved away, but not for long. Zen comes through with the hat trick, gonna send her home.
Yeah, a nice little follow through by Zen there. As Xenix really forcing that double commit on net with a great shot, and obviously Zen, realizing he has all the time in the world, just able to put a nice little shot on net to put them up by 1 with only 30 seconds left. And a very pivotal game for, obviously the game's not over yet. Crazy things can happen, but with this Godfather's team going up by 1 more goal, it just hopefully solidifies their lead, and they're able to take this win here as the clock dwindles down and it's still in Nebula's half. It looks like that it might just go the way of Godfathers here.
Yeah, and it is going to go in the Godfather's way here as they find another win, and a 3-1 series lead here for the Godfathers, able to battle back, led by Zen with 3 goals, some crazy shots there, some crazy saves coming out there, and the Godfathers really put the work in that last one. And Ventus, you have to it's that time of the night here, time of the series here, where you really got to consider that tactical timeout if you're Nebula.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have to take it. You're down 3-1 now in the series, and you have not. Obviously, this game was a lot closer than I thought it would have been. Godfather started up 3-0, and at one point they were up 4-1. So I mean, really, or 3-1. Really close game, and Nebula was actually able to come back there and make it close. But unfortunately, Godfather's obviously getting the last goal there and taking the game. But you definitely need to take a timeout here if you're Nebula. I just don't see, even if it was close. You really got to talk just a little bit more about the game plan, and really dial in on what you need to improve on. What the difference is, and it looks like I believe Nebula is calling their timeout because they did not join the lobby. So I guess we'll get to talk a little bit more about the Nebula roster here, or maybe they're just waiting for North to rejoin. Oh, it looks like they're not using their timeout. I'm not really sure what's happening.
Well, we'll figure it out in the meantime. It looks like they're. Oh,
No, it looks like they're not.
It looks like they're not called their time. All right. Fair enough here. I guess they're going on. But yeah. Regardless here, timeout or no timeout, sometimes Ventus, you don't really need the timeout. And I spoke on it a little bit in the last series. Or maybe it wasn't in the last series, but I spoke on it to some people earlier. Sometimes the games are just so close that you don't really need to call that timeout, and well, maybe they didn't need it. Tenzi is going to strike first.
Yeah, I mean, just bad touch there by Logan, passing it right to Denzi as that last back, and not able to recover off of his poor touch, just allowing Nebula to take the lead here. I mean, it was obviously a free shot from Denzi, and he's not going to miss those. But I mean, obviously, just it was more of a mistake on the side of Godfathers than it was, a good play on Nebula. And so, I mean, Nebula obviously happy to take that first goal, and much needed one as they are down 3-1 in the series. But I mean, yeah, you definitely talked or touched on it about how teams don't have to use timeouts. I know when I was in my playoff series yesterday, we had we talked a lot in between games about what to improve just in the post game menu, and so we didn't have to use timeouts. It's a great shot there by Zen off the or Zinvez off the sidewall there, and you know, Zen's just not able to read or the corner there. I apologize, and you know Zen's just not able to read that ball in time, and a great shot there, and Nebula going up 2-0, but you know really going back. I mean, a lot of the times when we are in that post game window, you know, we had the ability to talk about that game and what we thought we needed to improve on, and so I definitely agree that you know timeouts are not needed. You know, I think they definitely do help give a little more of a break. You know, give that mental reset as well, and really talk about your gameplay and what you need to do differently. But yeah, it's definitely not needed.
Yeah, it's a case by case thing, and yeah, like you mentioned, it's one of those things you got to talk with your team and figure out if the timeout's best for you and when to use it. It's a strategic thing only for the playoffs, so teams got to think about it. And like you mentioned, yeah, I was in our series, all the games are 1-goal games, super close, and you know, like you said, you were just able to talk about things in between the games in the 60 seconds you have, and sometimes that's all you need, especially in the Titan League. I feel like they're a lot less prone to call the timeouts as a big mistake comes out there by Zen, but fortunately his team's gonna bail him out. But how long will they be able to bail him out here as they find themselves down by 2 here in this game at number 5? Looking to make something happen here, as this one could be flung towards the backboard, and you're gonna find that read, and well, Zenny's not gonna mess that one up. He's gonna send her home.
Yeah, and I mean that's a crazy read by Zen. Not sure exactly where the bounce is going to go, but having full faith in his ability to read that play, just seeing that the ball is going to touch the ground before bouncing, and so it's going to pop out right perfectly to him, and you know he's there, super fast to that ball, and just able to get that shot. I mean, a great play there, and a good play by Zenix as well, getting the air dribble over one and then 15 the second one. I mean, a great play by both those Godfather players.
Now Zenix, he's got no boost, but he's still going to keep that ball in Nebula's zone, and now Nebula, a 1-2 goal lead, now a 1-goal lead. Got to see if they can find it back. It's a momentary 2-on-1. What a great touch there by Zenix, able to get away, but oh my goodness, they're running into each other. They're Nebula. Can they capitalize on the Godfather's mistakes? Not this time, as Zenix is going to find it clear, but North is going to send it right back, and one of those mistakes, especially in the Titan League, it may not lead to a goal right away, but it can lead to some things later on. And how about leading to that goal? What a redirect to find the back of the net there for the Godfathers to send that one in.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the mechanical play of Logan and Zen. It's on full display right there. I mean, a great touch by Logan, just just off the end of his car. A great skim, adding that speed to it so that Nebula's not able to react in time, and overall just a really great play.
It was a great play, and now the Godfathers have tied this game up here. Looking to end this series right here, right now, after Nebula went up 2-0 in this game. Now Nebula forced to be the ones that have to attack yet again. North to be the one attacking there. He sends it to the corner. Logan gonna conserve his boost with his ball. Still dangerous, still rolling, still shooting there, but not quite gonna find into the net. Is that one? It's gonna be pushed away. Zen popping this one towards the net. Gotta make a touch here, North. Able to control. Looking to take this one, trying to grab the boost as well. Logan gonna find that 50. Ball popping out. Zenix gonna actually take it by Zen. A big miscue there. Gonna allow Nebula to break through and get back on the offense. A great pass down North. Looking back up, trying to find a little 3-man play with Zenix. He's gonna cut it off as a bump comes through there on the goalie. Not enough boost to get up, and Zinvez is gonna send it in. Nebula back out in front.
Yeah, and I mean that's a great bump there by Denzi on the last man back, and I mean a lot of communication issues from this Godfathers team, it looks like right now, and that might be the difference maker there. Is Zenix took away a potential shot from Zen or a potential solo play, and allowed that pressure to ease on the side of Nebula, and it allowed pressure to build against the Godfathers, and so and some more double commits as well happened. But really, it was that bump by Denzi that was really able to open up the play enough where Denzi where Zin was able to put a shot on target.
And that was a huge goal. Find the back of the net there as Nebula looking to send us once more to that good old Forbidden Temple for some Game 6. But the Godfathers Will they be denied? They're still looking to try to get a goal back here, try to at least force overtime in game number 5. This one sent down a redirect attempt, but a great touch by Zen. Able to get up in the way north. Find a touch, looking to keep control. Xenix. He's gonna bang it down, looking to stay with this ball. Denzi on the top of one, but Logan is there, firing it down to Zen. Oh, Denzi comes through at the last minute, and Zen, he just has a knack of finding those spots. But Denzi, he was able to fill one of those just in time. Can he get up to this one? He can. Able to send it down north, trying to find a dagger. This ball's still floating. Nebula looking to get to game 6. This ball is actually gonna be sent down. Denzi trying to race up to it. He's gonna find a touch, able to clear it a long way. Nebula just gotta let it touch the ground with the Godfathers. They're gonna do everything in their power to keep this ball up. And oh my god, it's on the net, but Denzi, he's gonna make the save at the last second. And he's gonna send us to game 6 in Forbidden Temple.
Yeah, I mean that was super close. I mean, 2 great saves there by Denzi at the end of that game, and really made sure Nebula was able to secure that 1-goal lead there. And another really close game there by Nebula and Godfathers. I mean, that game could have gone either way. I mean, obviously, it went the way of Nebula, but I mean, Godfathers had a lot of shot opportunities, and they outshot Nebula again. What it seems like for the 3rd time in this series, and so I mean, it was just great play by Nebula just to hold on there and secure the win and force game 6.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to force that one out here, and we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen on the good old Forbidden Temple. What can happen in the Titan League playoffs here on Forbidden Temple? We haven't seen it yet in season 11 for the Titan League, but we're about to see it here. And Ventus, what do you need to see from Nebula as we continue on for them to try to force this game 7?
I haven't really seen much of many passing plays between Nebula. I mean, it's been a lot of counterattacks, and then obviously capitalizing on the mistakes from Godfathers. But I mean, overall, it seems like Zinvez, it was really the only one who has gotten assists for this team, and so I really hope that Nebula is able to start finding each other and putting some nice infield passes together to create some goal scoring opportunities, because it feels like they've been missing something in their gameplay, and I definitely think that's what it is.
Yeah, they're trying to get this ball out of their zone. Not able to do it this time. But yeah, Nebula looking to fight back from this 3-1 deficit as Zen is up with Xenix, and Zinvez trying to get that one. All the Z names, they didn't really talk about that too much. So you got Zen, Zin, and Z all in the same lobby here, and it's gonna be another Z, Denzi, gonna put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, definitely some tongue twisters there, if you start talking too fast with all those Z's. But I mean, a great shot by Denzi there, and I mean, it was somewhat of a pass from North, but not necessarily what I was talking about. But a goal's a goal, and a goal from Nebula, in game 6, with them down 3-2 in the series is definitely necessary. But as I say that, Godfather is able to put together an offensive attack, and able to capitalize just off the mistake by Zin there. I mean, just not able to get that touch off the back wall. And I mean, really, when you have to commit there as that 3rd man, but you need to get that touch if you're Zin. So obviously a great capitalization on that mistake there by Godfathers, and we're back to 1 goal apiece, and neither team really looking the best of themselves this game, but you got to be scrappy enough to get the win.
Yeah, you got to be scrappy here, and maybe that Forbidden Temple there causing a few mishaps, even in the Titan League, where teams will take advantage of everything. Any mistake, and Zen, he's got no boost. He's trying to get bumped there, but this one can be sent the other way, and now it's right back. A counterattack in your face there. It's off the post to the north. He's going to clear it out. Logan, he's got to try to get in the way here as Denzi trying to get that one. Nifty, going to come through off the backboard. Nebula, both Nebula and Godfather is fortunate they didn't get scored on there, as it was back-to-back counterattacks by both those teams. Now this ball popped up. Denzi was all over that one. He read Xenix like a book. He's going to block it off in the midfield, but Zen is right back to it. Off the corner, this ball popping up north. Almost got bumped there. This one sent down, but Xenix is going to find control, able to get it off to the side. This one out of the midfield opportunity. Denzi, he denied by Logan. This ball's popping up. Zen going to find that touch, but north over the top of him. The shot coming through just off the post there. Logan able to get it off to the side as North trying to take control, trying to find something, but Zen was on that one. Denzi looking for something of his own here, taking it around. Not quite gonna find it down. This one, a nice little drop pass, and North is gonna come through. Oh my goodness! And just what Dr. Ventus ordered, a passing play.
Yeah, I mean, a great play there, and finally one that I had been hoping that Nebula would start doing. And it's a great pass there by Zanvez, and I mean, really, he's been that playmaker type all the time in this series, and really one of the only ones who's facilitated the passings that has netted them goals. And you know, I love to see it. Obviously, especially when I call out, that's exactly what they need to work on and focus on. And obviously, when they do that, it makes me feel very smart. But I mean, a great play there by Nebula to allow them to take the lead in Game 6.
Yeah, that's a huge goal for them right here as they're trying to force a Game 7 here, trying to send us a Champions Field in a winner-take-all game, and battling back here against a Godfather's team who looked like they had their way with Nebula after that Game 1, and they're trying to fire another one here. It's floating down, but we touched away. North able to get it off to the side for the moment. This ball up in the corner. Denzi. He finds one touch, looking to pop another one. Nice little touch up, but North, he's got no boost. Xenix gonna try to race back here to get to that one. Zen taking it high. Denzi there on the backboard. This one dropping down into Logan's car. Down from the ceiling comes Denzi once more. Gonna make a huge touch to get that one away. And this Nebula team, they're trying to hold on, but can they do it much longer? It's on the goal line, but it's gonna be saved away. And Nebula Ventus, they somehow, some way, come out unscathed on Forbidden Temple.
Yeah, and I mean, it's crazy plays, and
Uh-oh.
we could have said Zen needs to score that, as he almost scores that one, and Logan just not able to get that read. But I mean, really, that Nebula defense is barely holding on. A triple commit came out, but luckily Denzi was able to get a follow-up touch, and a potential follow-up touch there as he's able to put one, in the back of the net. And Nebula's actually going to go up 3-1 here when they had to survive that onslaught that Godfathers was putting on. But it seems like Godfathers made a little defensive misrotation there and just allowed Denzi to take in for a free net there.
And that was just such a nice play by Denzi, able to take it out, take control, and find that flick there, catching Godfathers off guard. And what a play by him right there to make that one happen and give his team a 2-goal lead as they're looking to battle back, looking to force that Game 7, looking to keep their season hopes alive here. As this ball popped up, not a lot of boost for Denzi this time. Around the final 30 seconds, Godfathers looking to find one, but it's gonna be Nebula. It's gonna be Zin looking to send us to 7.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a tale so far this game that, I mean, Godfather is just leaving, that last man too far up. I mean, Nebula had been crumbling on defense previously, but I mean, they've been able to make great saves, and this Godfather's team getting exposed that they seem to be committing all of their players to the attack, especially when they have a lot of pressure. And so whenever Nebula is able to make those saves and relieve that pressure, it creates so many holes as another shot and another goal comes in from Zin, and Nebula end up taking this game at least 5-1. I mean, potentially more, but I mean, this is not what I expected with Nebula really being able to score 3 goals in the span of 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to score those 3 goals, and they're going to score 4 unanswered here right now as they're looking to send us to 7. Godfather's looking for one more for the road, but not quite going to find it there this time. As this ball going to be pushed down, Nebula going to send it down in the midfield. And there you have it here. We're going to 7, Ventus, between these two teams who have battled it out in this one. And it's all going to come down to Champions Field. One more game to either move on or go home.
Yeah, I mean, this series has been so back and forth. I mean, even in this game, Godfather still outshot Nebula 11-8 and had 4 demos as well, which means that they had sustained pressure on this Nebula team. But this Nebula team actually able to make the defensive saves, really communicate on defense. And besides that one mishap where Dinzy had to make an awkward commit off the back wall and was not able to get the touch, I mean, that was the only Godfather's goal. So really shutting down Godfather's ability to create plays there. And I mean, if Nebula can do that, they look poised to be able to take this Game 7. But obviously, I expect Godfathers to make a little change here and there, and really understand that, maybe Xenix needs to stay a little bit further back as that third man, as I know Zen and Logan both love to play super aggressive and make those cuts in rotation to keep pressure. And so maybe if you're Xenix, you gotta really understand that what your role in this team is that you are kind of that solid rock, and kind of what North has been, and really what Denzi turned into in the later half of this series. And maybe you just gotta accept the fact that you need to focus more on rotation. As a great goal comes out from Logan, just a nice play on the kickoff, a good speed flip there by Xenix, a good 50 to by Zen to just to force the ball right towards Logan, and Logan obviously able to capitalize on the open net and put one there to give Godfathers lead. And this is what I was talking about. I mean, I did not think Godfathers would sit there and allow this Nebula team to win this easily, as another goal comes out there off another kickoff by Xenix. A good beat there by Zen, able to force a bad touch by Zinvez, and Denzi just not able to get the touch as he was respawning from getting demoed. And a great team play there off the kickoff again from the Godfathers. And we haven't really seen many kickoff goals come out, but a lot of kickoff aggression from this Godfathers really allowed them to score 2 goals early in this game 7.
Yeah, and with the Titan League, these goals have been hard to come by. And in a hard-fought series like this, when you get to Game 7, giving up 2 goals, you got to find an answer, and you really got to find one quickly here. If you're Nebula, you can't let this game just kind of float by you and just let it drag on and let Godfathers lock you down here, as they did in some of the earlier games when they went up 3-1. Nebula, with that battle back, with that resolve, they can definitely bring us to a tied game here, but they're gonna have to work for it. Godfathers aren't gonna let him have it, and Denzi, he's trying to make him have it right here. Here's that one. It can be saved away by Xenix. Step back in. The touch gonna come through, but Zen, not a lot of boost. Looking to try to find the flick down, but Logan, knowing his teammates boost him out, allowing him to get that touch there. This one off the sidewall. Xenix looking for that redirect, but Zinvez, he's all over it. His North. Send this one to the backboard, but Zen is waiting. Gonna find that booming clear. This one sent down Zinvez. He's got to get up to it. He's gonna find that touch as Xenix. Send it down now. Denzi push this one towards the backboard. It's an awkward ball. Not gonna find that touch. Looking for the read down, but oh my goodness, Zen. He comes out the backboard, but here comes North looking for the shot there. It's gonna be saved away yet again. That was a huge save right there, Ventus, by the Godfathers to put it away as they're trying to attack now on offense.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time that we've really seen Godfathers put together a defensive stand where, a lot of the times when Nebula started to gain pressure is because the Godfathers were too aggressive. A great shot there by Zen, just saved away by North. And, I mean, the Godfathers looking like the former of themselves, where they're able to take these 2 games. An unfortunate instant challenge there. A great challenge there by Xenix. Godfathers able to hang on. Another play comes out, Xenix having to bail out Logan with low boost, another Zen taking it off Xenix. I mean, just great play from Godfathers so far in this game, and it's definitely something that we strayed away from in that game 6 on Forbidden Temple. So, I mean, Godfathers looking, like the dominant versions of themselves so far in this game.
And that's what we saw in those games 2 through 4. Where they were able to put the hammer to Nebula. But Nebula, they were so close on that opportunity there to find one in. And like I mentioned, you need to find one here with some time on the clock. You can't let this get under a minute when you score your opportunity. It'll still be possible if you could score with even a second on the clock here, but you got to try to find one quickly, build some momentum, get a good reset off the kickoff here. And Zed, oh my goodness, he tries to put it in, but Xenix, you can't finish it off there. That one almost could have been one of those early daggers here in a game 7. As this one sent back. Xenix gonna find a touch there. This one, a dangerous ball. North, he's trying to fire it in. Did he catch him off guard? He did. A big mistake in the midfield. And North, he's gonna capitalize.
Yeah, I mean, that's a massive mistake there. I mean, Xenix not able to get that touch. Logan putting it right in front of North, and obviously North is not going to miss that shot, able to put it in the net, before Zen able to get back. And this Nebula team showing signs of life now. I mean, North obviously the big component in that with a goal and 2 saves. And I mean, we're really looking for Nebula to step up here. I mean, they showed what they could do in game 6 and in game 1, and really, they got to find that version of themselves here is a great save by North,
Oh, it's
pitching it
open.
off his own post, and a demo came out,
Oh.
but Logan just like able to respawn and get back in time, and this Godfather's team just able to hold on so far. But I mean, Nebula starting to gain pressure, but that was all off of North and his insane, defensive play there, where he was able to pinch off his own post.
Yeah, that was a crazy pinch to clear it away, and he was so close to resulting in a goal there. But Logan, he spawned on that side, got the opportunity, and this one, it's floating. The midfield opportunity shot is going to go wide as we're under 60 seconds remaining. Nebula, they are on the attack here. They're trying to push it through, trying to tie this up here, North. They're going to drop it down, but not quite, as Denzi, he's taking control, taking to the ceiling. Looking for that one, but Xenix with a great 50, able to relieve some pressure. Gonna snag that boost there, trying to give his team some space. This one, long off the backboard, trying to send it down. Touch attempt coming through there from North. Zinvez pops it up. This one off the backboard. It's dropping down. Awkward for Nebula. Xenix trying to finish it off, but Nebula, no boost. Xenix finds another touch here. And now the time is ticking. Nebula, maybe one more opportunity here to try to get it away. The Godfathers are smothering them though. Genzi out of the midfield. Xenix, they're taking all the boost here, trying to end their season. Nebula, do they have some sort of escape here? Last chance, Inves. He's going to flick it down. It's to the corner. The ball off the side there. It's going to be pinched down. And the Godfathers are going to hold on in 7, and they're moving on to the semis.
Yeah, definitely a nail biter there. As Godfather's almost conceded, and I mean a great overall play from both these teams. I mean, I don't want to knock what Nebula was able to do here and really force this game 7, as they did play great, and they did outshoot Godfathers this time, and North played fantastic in this game 7, and really Nebula just missed a little bit of that aggression and a little bit of that team play, is other than those couple times where they had a couple infield passes, which they scored almost every single time from those infield passing. I mean, we just did not see enough of that, and obviously Godfathers played really well. I mean, we're able to generate so much pressure, so mechanical, all like so many solo plays, so many redirects. I mean, the Nebula had their work cut out for them, and it was just proved to be a little bit too much for them. And congrats to the Godfathers, and they'll be moving on and taking Pinnacle, and obviously we're gonna look to see if they can continue this dominance in future games.
Yeah, we will definitely have to see, but yeah, that was a great series by them, and good on them to get that early lead, and that's what happens in those game deciding game or match deciding games there, where you get into game 7, you go down early, and Nebula just couldn't dig out of that hole, and you got to give props to the Godfathers for putting them in that hole and then holding on at the end to move on. And yeah, like you mentioned, they're going to be going up against Pinnacle, the number 2 seed. So the Titan League is set up for some bangers out there. Inferno Venganza, Pinnacle versus Godfathers. It's set to be a good show. So you guys aren't going to want to miss it. A couple quick things too, though, before we end off the stream for the night here. Quick shout out to our premium subscribers here. I'm gonna throw them up on the screen. Shout out to all of them, but especially Challenger Plus, Flame Intruder, Jax, Wiggle, Eco, Cow, and Street Soul. Much appreciated for all the support there. Reminder, you guys can get some inside Nemesis perks here, access to different channels in the Discord, and other cool features such as match records, past season stats, by subscribing in the Discord and supporting us. Helps fund our prize pool and keep Nemesis running. So if you guys are interested, definitely go check that out in the server shop in the Nemesis Discord. But yeah, either way, we appreciate everyone hanging out here. It was a crazy round 1 here, and going next week into the semifinals. I know you got to be excited to see how things are going to turn out in all 5 leagues.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to cast a lot of the games, and be able to really be here and get to experience it firsthand, and hopefully that'll be the case. And I'm just super excited. I mean, so many of these series, especially that I've casted, have gone the distance, have been crazy upsets, and I mean, we're only in the round 1 of playoffs. I mean, there's plenty of more to come in this upcoming week on Monday and Wednesday. I mean, the round 2 of playoffs I hope will be even better than the round 1, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more, partner. as it is going to be a great show. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back on Monday for day one of the semifinals. And then, like Ventus mentioned, Wednesday is the second day of the semifinals. So we'll determine all of our grand finalists next week. And then 2 weeks from now, we'll have the grand finals where the champions will be decided for season 11, our full reset. It's been a long time coming with this full reset, but it's given us some content and still some more to come. So make sure you guys stick around for that one. Not tonight, but next week. Make sure you guys follow the channel. We'll be back on Monday. So yeah, with that being said, thank you all for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.